back a new video. Today we are reacting. This AYCE Sushi restaurant is only $25. Buy Bite Buddy. Let's get this video started. Let's go.
Hidden away on the second floor of an ordinary office building is a restaurant offering all-you-can-eat sushi for just $25. And somehow that includes 8 pieces of sashimi, which immediately made me wonder, what's the catch? Maybe the fish is tiny. Bruh. Maybe the quality is terrible. Or maybe the complaints online are right. And after reading through the reviews, I found people complaining about everything from soggy rolls to excessive amounts of rice. But actually, to be fair, this place has pretty decent reviews, sitting at a 4.0 star rating. But of course, I still wanted to see for myself whether or not the restaurant was cutting corners somewhere, or had I actually found one of the best deals in the city. Now, there was one catch about this place. To keep prices this low, you're limited to 90 minutes of dining time. And because of that, we're skipping the Korean BBQ add-on today, which is available for just a couple dollars extra. The KBBQ menu only has a couple of options anyways, so we're not really missing out on too much. The rest of the menu is pretty straightforward. You get a small selection of sashimi, a variety of nigiri, hand cones, and sushi rolls. And finally some appetizers including plain white rice. Now, I don't know who's coming to an all-you-can-eat sushi restaurant and ordering a plain bowl of white rice, but that's definitely not going to be me. Today we'll be focusing on the items that will tell us the most about this restaurant, starting with the one thing that makes this deal, well, a deal. The sashimi. Okay, so it's looking like my first order has already arrived, and that took, I think, less than 2 minutes, so I'm pretty impressed by that. We have here 8 pieces of sashimi. Now, at first glance, this is, pretty much about the size that I was expecting. It's a lot smaller than if you were to order by the piece at a restaurant. And to see whether or not $25 is actually good value, I'll be keeping track of roughly how much everything would cost if it wasn't all you can eat. Alright, let's go for a piece of the salmon. Actually, not bad. It's smooth and buttery, and it definitely does look like fresh salmon. Okay, let's go for a piece of the tuna. And I am noticing that the tuna is slightly bigger than the salmon. Hey, also pretty decent. It's meaty and fresh. Honestly, so far, more than decent for a $25 all-you-can-eat spot. Honestly, this was already a better start than I was expecting. The sashimi wasn't tiny, the fish tasted fresh, and with 8 pieces included, that already put a pretty decent dent in our $25 admission fee. Delivered alongside our sashimi was the nigiri. If you're trying to maximize value at an all-you-can-eat sushi restaurant, this is usually the move. You're still getting slices of fish, but with a little rice underneath. And I mainly focused on tuna and salmon, because, well, I mean, let's be real, that's what value is. But the menu also offers ebi, tamago, and my personal favorite, inari. Probably gonna go with the salmon first. Okay, so right away, I'm noticing that the rice is just a little bit dry, and it kind of sticks to my throat. The rice was definitely the weakest part so far. It felt slightly dry, like it had been sitting around for a little longer than ideal. But what really surprised me was the fish-to-rice ratio. At a cheap all-you-can-eat spot, I was fully expecting giant rice balls with tiny slivers of fish on top. Instead, the portions were actually pretty reasonable. The tuna from the nigiri is a little bit different from the sashimi tuna. There's a little bit more veins in the nigiri tuna, so it's a bit harder to chew. The rest of the nigiri was a mixed bag. The ebi was sweet and refreshing, the tamago was soft and slightly sweet, and as usual, my personal favorite ended up being the inari. Probably not the best value for my money to get more of that, but it's my favorite, so I might just have to. While eating, I started looking into what people online were saying about specific items. Wilson W said, sushi cones had an over-excessive amount of rice. Well, I picked up a chopped scallop cone just to see for myself, and just from first impressions, I don't know what they're talking about. The chopped scallops were spilling out of the cone, so at least visually, Wilson's complaints about too much rice didn't seem to be true. That said, I did notice one thing. The texture of the seaweed is just a little bit soggy. The seaweed lacked that fresh crunch and was actually a little bit difficult to bite through. But when it came to the amount of rice, I had to disagree. There was a pretty generous amount of chopped scallop inside. Yeah, so this is basically the bottom part of the cone, and still there's scallop filling. Next up, I have a review from Amy Lynn who said that the dynamite roll had rotten lettuce and soggy tempura. Well, let's see about that. I mean, just visually looking at this, the lettuce seems pretty green and fresh. So I don't think the lettuce is rotten. And after trying it myself, I honestly couldn't find anything wrong with it. Yeah, nothing about this tastes rotten at all. The tempura is still slightly crispy. It's a fine dynamite roll. It's not a great dynamite roll, but it's the type of dynamite roll that I would expect at a $25 all-you-can-eat sushi restaurant. I even grabbed a house salad just to double-check Amy's complaint, and once again, the lettuce was perfectly fresh. Is it a problem that I'm already starting to feel kind of full? So at this point, we know the sushi isn't terrible, but I was curious whether the kitchen items were just filler or whether they were actually worth ordering. And one review in particular caught my attention. Han said the tempura was extremely greasy. Well, I have here a yam tempura, so let's go ahead and see if that's true. I'm gonna go for a bite without any tempura sauce first.
Sorry about this, it's the ad, guys.
Immerses you in the universe. Oh wow, this is the thing I'm most surprised by in this entire video so far. The outside batter of the tempura is extremely crispy, and the yam is hot and soft on the inside. Exactly what you want in a yam tempura. So despite the negative review, the tempura was actually one of the strongest dishes I had all day. Okay, so I've only got about 15 minutes left to finish up the rest of my food, or else they're gonna charge me for any leftovers, so we gotta get on this, man. And that was going to be a problem because I had close to 1,000 calories worth of food to get through. So with the clock ticking, I moved on to the rest of the kitchen menu. We'll give the gyoza a try. The wrapper is extremely tough. I would recommend skipping this one. Here's the chicken teriyaki. Chicken is really tender, and the teriyaki sauce is a perfect balance between sweet and savory. I like it. I'm starting to really feel the fullness, which honestly wasn't that surprising because the chicken teriyaki alone was almost an entire meal by itself. I'm gonna get back to this chicken. First, let's give the agadashi tofu a try. Crispy shell, soft tofu on the inside. Good flavor too. Okay, chicken karaage looks pretty crispy. I think this chicken karaage I have here is a chicken drumstick, which is actually surprising because karaage is typically made using boneless chicken thigh, which has more fat and stays juicier when fried. The meat is a little bit tough and dry, and the skin isn't really that crispy. So it's not my favorite. I would also recommend passing on this. By the end of it, a pretty clear pattern started to emerge. The kitchen menu wasn't perfect. Some dishes were easy skips, but others were surprisingly good, especially considering the price. We're making pretty decent timing. It's currently 12:29, so we have 1 minute left and only 2 pieces, so I think we got this. And by the end of the meal, the estimated value of everything I'd ordered climbed to roughly $62, which means even someone like me, who isn't a competitive eater and spent half the meal filming instead of eating, was still able to get more than double the value of what I paid. So coming into this video, I thought there would be some sort of catch. Maybe the sashimi would be tiny, or the quality of fish would be terrible, or maybe the reviews online would expose some sort of major flaw. But after eating my way through the menu, none of these things actually happened. The sashimi portions were basically what I expected, and the quality was also decent. Is it the best sushi I've ever had? No, but I didn't expect it to be. For $25, this place isn't trying to compete with high-end restaurants. It's trying to offer as much decent sushi as possible for as little money as possible. And after today's investigation, I think it succeeds.
That should be it of this video. You guys like this type of video, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. And you want me to react to anything else, please comment down below. Hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Hope you guys like this video. Hope you guys have a good day. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time. Jack Daytime out.